18 students and their driver were involved in a school bus crash this morning in Magoffin County. We'll tell you what we know so far. And a 10-year-old is dead after a house fire in Bell County, leaving a school and community in mourning.
Yes, we're bringing showers back to the forecast, but the lows in the 20s look to be the bigger story. The latest on what we look like coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
We continue to follow that school bus crash in Magoffin County earlier this morning that sent 19 people to the hospital, 18 students and their driver. Some of those injuries are serious to critical. In the hours since the crash, Magoffin County has received messages of prayers and support from surrounding communities. Neighboring counties also sent help to the scene of the crash. Kelsey Soto shows us how the community is coming together.
Father, we as a community cry out to you. We need you.
A word of prayer whispered before the press conference in Magoffin County this afternoon. Officials tell us it's been a difficult few days for the school district, especially after suffering loss and tragedy last week when 15-year-old Angelica Rife was killed in a UTV crash.
It is a lot for them to take in a short period of time.
Superintendent Chris Meadows tells us they'll be providing counselors and other mental health services for students in the coming days. The fear was instantaneous for passerbys like Rick Howard, a local business owner who came up on the scene early this morning. He says in a small town, the pain is felt far and wide.
Hopefully, we'll hope and pray that they do well and everybody recovers from this.
We're told neighbors and residents also jumped into action by providing coats and blankets for children waiting to be transported and checked out. Others are ready to see change come to what they're calling a dangerous road.
It needs a guardrail bad. It would sure help things. If it's just 100 foot around through here, it'd help things. You know, because somebody else's life could be in stake, you know.
The education community is a close one. We've already seen supportive messages pouring out from nearby school districts like Floyd County, who are offering up support as well as any resources that they can offer at this time. In Magoffin County, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
The Kentucky State Police database of all traffic collisions in Kentucky reveals in the past decade there have been 7 accidents along that same stretch of Kentucky 40. One person was killed in a single vehicle crash in 2017. In 2013 and 14, there were accidents involving vehicles running off the road and down an embankment. Well, several people are still in hospitals tonight after that school bus crash. It happened around 7:30 this morning. All 18 kids on the bus, along with the driver, were taken to hospitals by ambulance or helicopter. Officials say the injuries range from minor to critical, but we do not know if any of the injuries are life-threatening. A news conference was held earlier at the Magoffin County Courthouse, and WYMT's Olivia Calfee continues our coverage from there.
The school bus crash along Route 40 on Falcon Road left multiple students and the bus driver injured. Kentucky State Police Public Affairs Officer Trooper Michael Coleman, along with other officials, addressed the media on Monday afternoon.
The initial investigation indicates the school bus was traveling westbound on Kentucky Route 40 when it exited the roadway and went over an embankment. The driver and 18 children ranging from elementary, middle, high school were all on the bus at the time of the collision.
Magoffin County Superintendent Chris Meadows says all of the students have injuries ranging from minor to severe and were taken to 3 different hospitals.
Where our schools are located close in proximity, several of our buses make stops at oftentimes 4 out of the 5 schools that we have in the district.
Meadows says this day has not been easy, but they are glad to report no fatalities.
This is not something you ever want to deal with as school personnel. Those kids come to us and they become our kids. And to see that and deal with that, it's a tough part of the business.
He also addresses parents who may be concerned to put their students on a bus from now on.
Our drivers are trained, our buses are maintained. You know, accidents do happen. It's unfortunate when they do, but I would just say that I still feel hope and trust in our employees.
Counselors were available on Monday and will be present the rest of the week if students need to talk. In Magoffin County, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
The cause of the crash is still unknown and, of course, under investigation. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Well, clouds are moving in. However, some spots still seeing beautiful sunsets out there, especially the further north that you go. Here's a look outside from Moorhead at the moment, where we see some of those bright reds and oranges as the sun continues to set. 39 the current reading there. Sun just about completely down from our vantage point in southern Perry County. Atop Buffalo Mountain, 43 the current temperature there. You already see some 30s sneaking into the Big Sandy. It's 38 in Prestonsburg, 39 Logan, West Virginia, and 39 in Clintwood, Virginia. 41 in Pikeville, though, so it'll be a little bit before they drop down into the 30s. Still in the mid-40s in portions of the Cumberland Valley at this hour. For us, we've been watching a few clouds push in, but the big story continues to be what's happening over the center of the nation as we watch this weather system head in our direction. It'll bring us rain showers with the possibility for perhaps a little bit of wintry mix to start. Not a big deal, but that wintry mix could be with us to start before the showers take over. 34 an overnight low tonight. Details on just when the showers move back out and when we could finally see some sunshine, that's in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. A 10-year-old is dead after a house fire in Middlesboro. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox has an update and tells us how the community is responding.
Middlesboro Emergency Management responded to a house fire that killed a 10-year-old and left 5 others with non-life-threatening injuries. The tragedy has left people in Middlesboro in shock.
I found this out last night. I haven't slept all night. I'm just truly heartbroken.
The fire engulfed almost everything the family owned as it burned through the foundation.
They lost the clothes. The only thing they have left is clothes on their back. We've arranged through one of our local churches, Shiloh Church, has arranged to get them housing and provide food and a place to stay.
The 10-year-old who could not escape the flames was Mark Smolik, a 5th grader at Middlesboro Middle School. Jones says the other students are heartbroken.
It's hard to tell other 10-year-olds that their friend's not going to be there.
Teachers and counselors have tried to be a comfort for students as they fight through the shock.
They've been busy all morning. They have really helped the kids, and it seems like the mood is starting to change a little bit.
A cause for the fire has yet to be announced. Shiloh Church in Middlesboro is taking donations for the family. In Middlesboro, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Funeral arrangements for Mark Smolik have not been announced yet. We have an update on a story we first told you about at 4:30. At least one person is dead after a crash today in Pulaski County. Kentucky State Police say it involved a semi-truck and a small car on Kentucky Highway 635 traveling towards Casey County. The road is now back open. The names of those involved have not been released. Earlier today, there was a 2-car crash on Highway 15 in front of the Double Quick gas station in Hazard. Officers with the Hazard Police Department say a black Chevrolet Sonic was merging onto the bypass when a white Jeep Wrangler was turning left from the Double Quick. The 2 cars collided, causing a passenger from the white Jeep and the driver from the black Chevrolet Sonic to be taken to Hazard ARH for non-life-threatening injuries.
There was a couple injuries. 2 people got transported. It's still currently under investigation. I've got the information for the report, and I'm supposed to be getting footage of the wreck a little bit later on today through my email and speaking with a couple witnesses.
The cause of the crash, of course, still being investigated by the Hazard Police Department. Patrolman Davis urges everyone to obey all traffic signals and to be attentive. One Southern Kentucky man is facing a host of charges following a weekend assault that ended in a chase. While police were heading to a domestic violence call, they were told the suspect, who was later identified as 37-year-old Dustin Daffron of Monticello, had left the scene. When a deputy found the truck, officials say Daffron refused to stop and took off onto Highway 833. Police say he finally pulled over at a home on the highway but refused to follow directions from police, and they had to physically take control of Daffron to arrest him. Daffron is charged with assault, resisting arrest, and fleeing or evading police. He was taken to the Wayne County Detention Center. An inmate has escaped from the federal correctional institution in Beckley, West Virginia. The Buchanan County Sheriff's Office say the inmate's name is Kevin Davis. There's a picture of him. Chief Deputy Eric Breeding says he was made aware of the escape early this morning. Breeding says Davis is from the Buchanan County area, which leads law enforcement to believe he may be headed their way. FCI Beckley is a medium security facility for men in West Virginia. More than 1,600 inmates are held at that facility. Officials with one Southern Kentucky Sheriff's Office are warning the public about a new phone scam that is a new take on an old tactic. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office posted on its Facebook page the caller claims they are a police officer, sometimes giving the name Detective Sellers or Sergeant Gibson. We are told neither are employees of their office. Officials say the scammer claims that the potential victim is having some type of legal issue. In these instances, we are told the scammer had the potential victim's personal information and demanded a gift card for bond. Officers say they will not discuss your personal information over the phone and will not ask you to get a gift card to pay for anything. Deputies believe the scammer called from a local number ending in 6579, but say it could be any number and usually looks like a legit local number. The 35th annual Big Blue Crush Blood Drive is underway through the Kentucky Blood Center. The Big Blue Crush is a yearly competition between the KBC and the Medic Regional Blood Center in Tennessee to make sure the blood supply is replenished ahead of Thanksgiving. Kentucky leads the overall Big Blue Crush series 19-14 and one tie. But Tennessee won the 2021 competition, 2,361 donors to Kentucky's 1,971. For more information about where you can donate, just go to WYMT.com and look for this story. We'll be right back.